Yeah, we're going live. Actually, it says we're live now, so I'll count myself down. Five, four, tres, dos, uno. Hello and welcome to another awesome edition of Classic Team Up. I'm your host with the most. You know me, and in case you don't, my name's right there in the show title. You can call me Classic, spelled exactly like the show title. And of course, this is the Classic Team Up here on the CSPN, the CSPN network. You can find us and all of our shows at cspn.us. Check us out. And with me, I have two fantastic guests. We're going to talk about AwesomeCon, which is a convention here in the DC area of comic books, pop culture, sci-fi, and other nerd stuff that we went to. And we'll recap that as well as a few other things. The two guests I have are our two most frequent guests on the team up. I don't want to say one and two because they're kind of neck and neck and they're fighting for that top spot as far as most frequent guests. But I'll start with my right hand woman, if you will, Miss Beauty Jackson, aka Mel. She's on the team with us.
Hey, I'm
Welcome back.
in the lead, by the way. I'm making the executive
You
decision
what?
that I'm in the lead over.
You are. You're the slight lead. You have the plus one.
I
Yeah.
don't I
You
don't care what the stats say. I don't care what logic and slash or reason say. I'm gonna be
yes.
ridiculous in the lead.
Oh, okay. Well, you have the you have a well, I'm not going to cite what letter, but you have an advantage that has one or two letters behind it next to an asterisk. So there you go.
That is correct.
And of course, with me is my faithful nerd companion and pop culture referential friend William Bruce West joining the team up. Welcome back, William.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, now this is interesting because you and I went to RetroCon yesterday. We enjoyed all that stuff. Well, you kind of heard about it, so but feel free to chime in.
I am literally here to one, be a jerk, and two, because I was promised battle rapping and gun fighting.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I got my composition notebook full of rhymes, so we can get right into it. Um, I'll ask you kind of right out the gate. What were your You've been to RetroCon, in the past. This is my first one that I just went to. What were your expectations going into this year with Retro? Sorry, not RetroCon. AwesomeCon.
Yeah, I was like, Lamar the Revenger's gonna kill us. We went without it.
Yeah.
No, AwesomeCon. This is my second one. It's a good show. It was his fourth year. It's a decent size at the Washington Convention Center. I don't know if it's awesome yet. Like, I've always hated that name. There's something just kind of grandiose about it. But apparently there's some legal wranglings about the name DC Comic Con, so they won't use that.
Oh.
But it's got a pretty impressive guest list. Like, they're not D-listers or anything. Like, you had John Barrowman from Torchwood and Arrow, and you had like Adam West and Burt Ward. It was a much better selection than you get at, say, a Wizard World show. It wasn't too crowded. It was a decent mix of vendors. Like, you could get out of there with some good deals. So I think it's a good show. The only thing I really have to compare it to is like Baltimore Comic Con, which I've been going to for like 12 years or so, and it's catching up really quickly. So
Okay.
I think it's a good show.
Yeah, you'd mentioned when we were talking about Baltimore and how that's kind of been dying down over the last few years, and could use a resurgence. But there have been more cons popping up over the last 10 to 20 years, so we got more options. Like MagFest for instance, they've got many events throughout the year. I kind of look at AwesomeCon. It's kind of that one here in DC that I've been here so long, but I've never gone to it. I was like, well, it might be time to go check it out. And particularly this year, what motivated me was, I saw Rod and Karen. We're going to be on of the Black Guy Who Tips, of course, friends of the show. We're going to be on a panel for the second straight year at this place at AwesomeCon in DC. It was like, oh, let me go check out the panel at least and see what else they got. So I checked out that and the site, and I wanted to check out like Malcolm Merlin, aka John Barrowman. I had a feeling that his line was going to be super long, and it
And it
was.
was. It was.
It was. And I remember seeing that as soon as I came in, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't shell out another 40, $50 to shake his hand or get his, get a picture with him or anything, or have him sign anything, because number one, I didn't have anything from the sign, and number two, as cool as it would be to basically have a picture of Malcolm Merlin, it would be more so, to kind of show off to people, and it's like, it doesn't do anything for me. And I even asked the wife, I was like, so do you want to come with me and we can go get pictures with Malcolm Merlin? She's like, nah, he's an ass. Basically on his character in Arrow, it's like, he's a jerk. I don't want to take pictures with him. It's funny because you mentioned Torchwood, and was he also in Doctor Who?
He's like a guest star on Doctor Who, but he starred in Torchwood. So like his character spun off from Doctor Who.
Okay.
But I'm sure somebody out there is waiting to actually me. So
yeah, and this is where we're gonna go full tilt and piss off the Doctor Who community and all those that are Whovians or Who fans out there. I asked you at some point while we were out there, probably getting our Science Channel T-shirts printed or something. What's the big appeal about Doctor Who? And actually, you're the one that said this, but I'm gonna have you say it again. What was the big appeal about Doctor Who?
It's a collaborative thing, because you said the first part.
Scarves.
It's about scarves and dildos. That's Doctor Who. Like they call it a sonic screwdriver, but that thing is just a fancy dildo.
Yeah, and Doctor Who, all the Doctor Who's wear these mufflers or big ass scarves, and then they got that little Dalek thing or that the robot, and it got like all these dildos just poking out of it.
Yeah,
so
it's a trash can covered in dildos.
Oh, I didn't watch Doctor Who before.
Wait, are you being converted to a Who fan because of the
I think so.
Scarves and dildos?
I think so. Like I like all these things. I don't know.
Yeah. I like a good scarf like the next man, but I don't know, just robots with dildos just poking out of it, just and of course phone booths. So if you're into that Bill and Ted type thing, into
right.
The and who isn't?
Yeah. So I guess that is an appeal, but it's like I'm just simplifying it to, okay, well, why has it been on TV so long and they've had so many iterations? There's been more Doctor Who's than James Bonds, haven't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 11 Doctors.
Okay, so I would think it's Doctor Who, then it's James Bond, then it's like Spider-Man, Batman, and all the rest in terms of number of characters just playing the one role, So there you go, Doctor Who fans. We just broke down and simplified for you why you were so addicted to what you're addicted to. I'm sure there's other things. I'm sure there's other concepts out there, but
point. I can't.
Scarves and dildos.
Yeah.
You want new fans to be alongside you at the Who conventions, right? Tell them, hey, scarves and dildos. Let's go, come on down. Just keep it simple. Anyway,
I think we just created a new Tumblr page, just chicks with scarves and dildos.
I mean, just imagine that hashtag just taking off, and and then they get official Doctor Who cast members, and the official Doctor Who they take it on, and next thing you know, it's like a big press thing, like a big movement has taken place, and now Doctor Who fans have taken to the internet for social media, and scarves and dildos have been trending worldwide. And then you basically see these custom-made scarves in the Doctor Who fashion with little dildos printed on them and stuff, and it's just great. So yeah, this is probably going to be the last Classic team up. They'll probably cancel me. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm in charge here. This is my network. I'm 40.
It wouldn't be the first time for that kind of thing, because when the Harry Potter movie came out, they had the toy of the Nimbus 3000, and they had to take it off shelves because it was just a big dildo that little girls were flying around with. It actually vibrated, and nobody stopped to think maybe this is a bad idea. So that's actually a pretty hot item on the secondary market if you can track one down.
Yeah.
Wait, the Quidditch, the Quidditch thing?
Yeah, the broom. They made a toy of it, and it vibrated.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
break up?
You were breaking up and really choppy. I think it was when you were walking around, and I know you got to, so.
Yeah, but yeah, the toy of the broom from Quidditch, like it vibrated, and they had to take it off the market, 'cause yeah.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's a little hit close to home there. These kids aren't ready for that. Harry Potter hasn't graduated to that level yet. So let's talk about yeah. So we can also talk about all the people we didn't see because we really didn't go for the signings. But you mentioned Burt Ward and Adam West; they were there. Summer Glau was there. I'm trying to think who else. Ron Perlman, was doing some stuff.
Michael Rooker.
Yes, Rooker, who's had pretty much all the cons. Will Friedle was there. My nemesis Phil Lamar is there. I'd actually got to see him like kind of off in the distance when we were walking through that area. Because I guess we were trying to sneak into a signing or something. Like, let's see how far we can go. And every line for the signings and the glad handing had somebody like right at the end of it. So kudos to AwesomeCon security because we really tried to hack you guys and it just didn't work. Yeah, because you always want to do that. Like, let's see how far we can get sneaking into this part here.
Because we just wanted to say hi. We didn't want autographs and pictures.
I was almost motivated to just wait by the nearest bathroom, like just catch him going into the pisser and be at the urinal. I'm like, hey man, I love your work on Batman, on whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, thanks man. And you don't get to shake their hand or anything, but you both are shaking at the urinal and you just go about your separate ways. That's it.
But terrible.
Anyway, we didn't get to do any of that. We ended up just kind of like, mentioning them or looking at them in passing. There was some cosplay. Some of it good, some of it, not too brilliant. I think you and I kind of had the same, reaction. Whereas, there were some minor highlights, but everything was kind of like your standard fare in terms of cosplay.
There was Aqua Girl with them cakes, but her mom was like her security guard.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to mention the two highlights. One was one was Agent Carter, but then that Agent Carter I saw, the one I took the photo of, that was a good Agent Carter, and then I saw maybe 4 or 5 other Agent Carters after that, and it was kind of like diminishing after that in terms of quality, but a lot of blue dresses with the red hat, a lot of that going down, and then of course Aqua Girl or Aqua Lady, or I'll just say a woman dressed as Aquaman, and that kind of stopped me because first off, it's Aquaman. And second, it's, yes, as you said, cakes as well as a few other things. And that was her mother. I was like, and look, let's be clear. The con has a strict no harassment policy. You can't just be rolling up on people, being all creepy, which, I respect people. I'm not going to do that. And I did not, but I did kind of stand there a little slack-jawed at the whole sight of, hey, that's a hot-ass Aquaman set up there,
I told you what to say to her mom. Just be like, you know what you made.
See?
Just let me take this picture.
Instigating a violation of the non-harassment policy, and I would have got kicked out. And I would be like, that's my friend right there. He put me up to it. And it'd have been just Classick and Will on the streets of D.C.
So you were going to be a weirdo and a snitch?
Yes, exactly. If I'm gonna go down for 1 count, I might as well go for 2 or 3 counts. That's what it is. And this is my first AwesomeCon. I don't want to get kicked out of that. But let's go around the room, or the panel here, and let's talk about, or just mention one word. If you're cosplaying at a convention, whether it's now or in the near future or the distant future, who are you going as?
Like, we don't have many options.
No. That's the thing with cosplay is you're not limited. You can go as a man, you can go as a woman, you can go as a white guy, a black person, you can go as an Indian. It's who you want to be. So for me, I'm going as Aquaman. You don't want to mention it. Yeah, I'm going to be Black Aquaman. I'll be Black Aquaman.
I'm going as Alex from A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, see, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Come on, Will.
Well, I'd go with something with a mask on. I don't want to deal with angry comment sections.
You can go as that amalgam, your avatar at Will's World of Wonder. Well, I don't even know if you still use it anymore, but the Iron Man helmet and the cap shield and the Thor's hammer.
Exactly. I
And
would
the
just
web
wear
shooter.
that. I don't need people
You're-
coming after me like Iron Man's
Yeah.
not black.
Rhodey is, but then he's dead, and then there's all that. Spoiler alert, folks. So yeah, you can go as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what you'd go as.
Right.
Or you know what? You know what's cool? And I saw Benedict Cumberdick or whatever you call him in some like on a lunchbox for it. Doctor Strange. I'd go as Black Doctor Strange, and I would purposely put black in front of it in the tradition of Black Vulcan and all the others because I just want to.
I like to call him Back a Bitch Cumberbund.
Yeah. So yeah, Beneficial Dick Batch or something. Batch of Dick. So there you go. Beneficial Batch of Dick. I like yours better. Mine is a little too on the nose, if you will.
Badger dick.
Batch of Dick. Yeah, it's not just one dick; it's a batch of them. So, and we got a guest star. I'm glad we've got the special guest on the Classick team up. This is her making her debut. So I'm so glad for that because I love babies on the show. And I'm not being like facetious. I'm being really serious. I love it. Anyhow,
I'm trying to get her to shut up.
No,
she's decided to come in the room and turn on everything that makes noise. So I'm just walking
Dude.
around.
Baby nerds matter.
yeah, baby voices do matter. And you know what? If there was like a podcast IMDb, I'd totally give her credits. I'd be like, boom. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put her in the show notes. But we
Say
got to give her a
hi.
name.
Hey.
She's like, what is this magic?
Yeah. This cute baby break has been brought to you by Pampers. You can never have too many.
We literally have everything.
Yes. And so, let's say, so we talked about cosplay. All right, so now we were on the exhibition or the convention floor, and we pretty much spent the whole day there. Which look, the way I noticed the way you do cons, Will, is you go on a hunt for something, and you are determined. And I'm just kind of along for the ride because it's my first, and I just kind of like to look around. But let the folks know what you were on the hunt for. It was a specific type of comic.
I'm looking for Superior Spider-Man, like in trade paperback form, because I completely missed that storyline, and since it's over, I expect to be able to find it for like a deal, but I haven't been able, nobody had any. I was surprised, so either they sold out Friday, or they just didn't bring them. But that was my mission, getting Superior Spider-Man and then filling in an Amazing Spider-Man gap that I had in my collection.
There you go. And and we ended up going to every single comic book vendor there. The dollar box and the dollar bins and everything. I think we might have searched every dollar bin in that place, which
we did.
Was fun in itself. As a comic nerd, it's kind of like. At first, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna search these bins," and I was like, "Oh wait, there's some cool shit in here." And I started kind of stacking up some. I bought most of mine at Comic Logic, which is my local comic shop. I told him I mentioned them on the show out in Ashburn, VA. If you're ever down on this side of town, check out Comic Logic in VA. So there you go. And of course, we ran into a few other great comic shops and everything. I think some of the highlights, going through that is. I almost bought some X Factor trades that were written by the one legendary Peter David, who I knew was going to be there, and I already had some books that I wanted him to sign, and I ended up not buying them, but I ended up taking a stack of books over there anyway. Hey, Will, you got something going on with your mic there?
Is that better?
Yeah, you were doing some brushing or something. I don't know if it was you or baby.
Yeah, I was under a vent.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Nothing like a little vent action there. Yeah. So I had a stack, and he was gonna. I ended up giving him a stack to sign, and I'll show it on camera for those of you that are watching. No one's watching live, but basically, It's X Factor, the 75th issue of the second run, or I would say his first run on X Factor. This is when the team changed in the 90s. Oh, I should mention these comics are all 20 years old, so these are comics I had when I was 16, or at least so the at least 20 years old. Incredible Hulk from the 30th anniversary issue. More X Factors and some Hulks. There's a Hulk with him and Punisher.
Are you holding those so that the people can see them? Oh, because I was going to say nobody can see them.
Yeah, so I got them here, and he pretty much signed them. Now, because no one's watched. I should have put out on Twitter. Yeah, hey, watch the show. But basically, he signed a good portion of these, a good number of these. But this particular one with the Incredible Hulk, the 30th anniversary, as well as this Pioneer Special Edition of Captain America Goes to War Against Drugs, he had signed those at least 20 years ago. So he signed them on the inside, Peter David. And of course, I told him, hey, you signed these like 20 years ago. We were both a lot younger back then. I'd love for you to sign them again. And he was like, oh my God, I did sign these. And he was just kind of shocked, but at the same time, he was just kind of really just laid back too. Yeah, so that was cool. I got him to sign in, and I took a picture with him, and then met his wife, who actually works on puppets, and that was pretty interesting because I saw the puppets at the end of the table. I was like, so what are these? I thought that maybe that was the next table, and his wife spoke up, and I'm assuming Mrs. David. I didn't get her name, but she's like, I make those, and it was like Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and what was the third one?
I don't know. I never got the name of the third one, but like it's in that whole universe.
Yeah, the famous British character or something. So that was cool. And then his daughter actually has like her own art and commissions. Kids art, and it was all pretty cool. So it was like he had his stuff on one side, and he actually had scripts from like Young Justice, the stuff he's written. And for those that aren't familiar, Peter David's written a shitload of comics over the years, over the last, what's he got, like a 30, 40-year career. And he's like, let's see, X-Men, he's been on X Factor, Hulk. He's working for Spider-Man. I'm trying to think what else he's written for. Just a lot of DC books. He's written for the TV show Young Justice. So he's written in sci-fi. There's all kinds of stuff he's written. That was kind of a big highlight for me to meet him again for the second time. And I would say another highlight for us was running into the Tuskegee Heirs creators. And the Tuskegee Heirs I'm showing here on camera, and now of course this will be up with the show, is a new comic. It's been put on Kickstarter. These are heirs of the Tuskegee Airmen, literally, and they're basically taking the mantle, and they're flying like more modern jets and like mech suits and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool, real cool setup. Black characters, young, it's more diverse. 2 black creators putting it together. They reached their Kickstarter goal recently, so they told us that the comic will come out in July, late July. So look out for that. Marcus Williams and I believe it's Greg Burnham are the creators, and Marcus Williams got some fantastic art, some great pieces of art, at his table and everything. We're gonna put that in the show notes too. Their site, not only the Kickstarter, but we could check out his art. He had a lot. Oh, I should mention they had a what was it called? It was like reverse something, but it basically is reverse gender of a lot of different characters.
Yeah, they called it like swapped.
Yes, and it was like a lot of male characters, just the female version. So you had like the woman version. So you had like RoboCop and Spawn and Blade, and they all just looked so awesome. And each print was like $10, and I was like, how much for the whole book? And even though I didn't have that kind of money, I would have bought that whole thing right there.
He had that Black Panther Storm fanfic stuff where it was like if they had stayed married and had 2 kids, and like so they were basically like Will and Jada, and their kids were like Willow and Jaden, and it looked really cool. Like I always hated that storyline, but I was like, I would actually read this if it had become a reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, just like the Will and Jada's Kids, except not as weird. And that's yeah, it was really cool. A lot of video game art, like Mario and Wario and type stuff like that. And I mean, and I asked him, "Well, did you go to art school?" And I think Mark said he went to school for like video game design, and that's what he was working in, and that's how he started to get into comics. Was he would do a lot of pieces for video games, video game artwork, and it kind of crossed over into comic art. So that's kind of where he's at right now. So really two really talented brothers. So check them out. Look out for Tuskegee Air's Flames of Destiny. That's coming out. We both got some merch from them. Trying to think what was another highlight. Will
you remember?
Who was the
damn? Who'd we meet?
Damn! Yeah, that was on the way out. Ron Simmons, aka Farouk from yes, WWE, WCW fame, Hall of Famer, Ron Simmons. And it's funny because I saw he was on the list of people, and he was going to be exclusive at a booth, but we never got around to that booth. And I thought, well, he's probably gone, because you think someone of that stature is not going to stay that long. And the AwesomeCon was closing up. Like the show floor was closing up, and we were going to go to the panels. It was like around 7 o'clock or so, but the same way we ran into Peter David looking for him, like we were kind of like, where the heck is Peter? Where the heck is where's the letter D? And he was sitting right in front of us. It was like, oh, there you are. You're Peter David. He's like, yes, I am. It's like, holy crap, we were totally looking for you. But like, out of nowhere, I'm like, hey, that's Ron Simmons. And like I literally said, "Damn!" like that, and then we just walked up to him. There was like no crowd because everything was closing up, and I just went up and I just gave him the whole, "Hey, it's been an honor and a pleasure watching you, entertain us for all these years." And I shook his hand, and it was like, "Man, that was so freaking cool!" And he had the championship belt right there next to him and everything, and it was like, man, I didn't even bother to take a picture. It was like I didn't want to start to bother him any more than just shake his hand and go, "Thank you for being a black hero to all of us," Farouk, Ron Simmons. I don't even call him Farouk, man. But you know what? I didn't want to stay too long because I know what Farouk's finishing move was. It was the Dominator, and I don't want to put that on me, even though he's up there in years. He still got the old man strength.
Yeah,
he clearly had that old man strength.
Yeah, that's a big dude, man. The APA. You know what I'm saying? And he was just loving life, man. He was so cool and everything. I was like, I don't want to bother. He's like, man, no bother, brothers. And, I mean, he was just so really cool and down to earth, man. If I see him again, man, it's gonna be great, man. I'm gonna take all the pictures. But yeah, we had a good time. So, and there was one more highlight. I want to pull up his book too. I told him I'd give him a mention. And a lot of this networking that I ended up doing, it was on behalf of our other show, our comic book show here on the CSPN, the Click Nation's Comic Book Chronicles. Knowing I was coming to AwesomeCon, I asked Tim to send me business cards, and he did. He sent me like a nice batch of business cards, and I was giving them out, and I still owe Tim like kind of a listing of who I gave business cards out to, so this way he could follow up. But that's kind of how they've been getting all these creators on their show. And I even gave one to Peter David. He's like, cool, I do podcasts, I'd love to. And I was like, yes, Peter David on the Comic Chronicles. So I'm not announcing that's happening. I'm just saying it could happen. So stay tuned. I didn't get one to Ron Simmons. I was out of cards by then. But anyway, Thief of Thieves is another comic that's out. Image puts this out. And, of course, I got one signed to Classick. And
kinda.
This one here is...
Kinda to Classick.
It's written by a number of people. Yeah. Kinda. Yeah, he was gave up on the spelling after a while. I was like, just there you go. Give me. Sean Martin, bro, is the illustrator on this. That he had drawn for Detective Comics in the early 2000s, and I was still kind of in my networking phase, giving out cards, so I kind of mentioned that, and we talked a little bit, took some photos. So I did post some photos on my Twitter page. You can check that out at Classic Materia, spelled just like the show title, and so we got some stuff signed, got some, met some great creators. There are a few more. I think I ran into DC Roller Girls. They do roller derby, which I find very interesting and intriguing, because I'm trying to convince Mrs. Classic to volunteer for some roller derby. But she's I think I just want to put her in that outfit. I don't know, but she seems very not into roller derby, so we'll see.
It's okay. I tried the same thing because Lindsay's last name is Cross, and I wanted her name to be Hot Cross Buns, but
Yeah.
but she wasn't down with the cause. So.
Yeah. So here we are, both trying to just over sexualize our wives, and that's kind of what makes America great. Yeah. So there you go. Anyhow, hey Mel, you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. I see your photos frozen.
Because I was trying to be a good guest. Because I was really
Oh no.
berating both of you for being disgusting.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, we were being pretty disgusting.
And I definitely laughed at hot cross buns.
Okay. There you go. There you go. So see, that made it okay. Not, but hey, that's cool.
That didn't make it okay. I think you misunderstood what I was saying.
Okay.
I mean, I laughed, but
it's not okay. It's not okay. Bad Will. Bad guest. Bad Classick.
You're the worst because you're always trying to get Mrs. Classick to do something filthy like roller derby or jello wrestling or whatever.
Roller derby is a physical activity, which is lots of fun. It's good sportsmanship, and they're role models for the kids. So I don't understand. I would do it. There's just not a men's roller derby league out here. It's not like I'm asking her, just dance and and what do you call it? Dance on tables, which is something I would do. So, what's the double standard there? Folks, if you need someone to dance on tables, at Classic Materia, just please put your
dance on your table.
Yeah, DM me your rates. I will DM you my rates because that shit's not free. And please have a sturdy and strong table because I do tend not to skip on cheeseburgers, so I want to make sure that your table can hold all of this, folks.
You gotta bring your own table.
Yeah, I'm bringing my own table. You know what? These legs aren't reinforced, are they? Is this real steel? What is this? This is wood? Oh, hell no. It's rickety. I've danced on flimsy. I've danced on stronger tables than this. Where'd you get this from? A pirate ship? So anyway, more AwesomeCon. What else did we do, Will?
We went to a panel. Right? Yeah.
We did go to a panel, which was kind of the point of, well, I wouldn't say the point, but yeah, it was kind of the point of me going, was I wanted to catch this panel. Now, this panel was about, it was held by Movie Trailer Reviews, which is run by the Insanity Report, Darth Chris, as well as a few others were on the panel. And it's called Nostalgia's and thoughts from the past or thoughts from our youth, etc. So really looking back at things that we might have thought were cool back as kids and like kind of how ridiculous it was. And I'll be honest, I went in there thinking, okay, they're gonna really shit on things that I liked, so I might be actually angry at this panel. Like I'm gonna hear them talk and go, okay, fine, you guys are shitting on everything I like, but whatever. But they did bring up some things that were miserable. Even back then, I felt like it was a panel that everyone could kind of agree with. There were some points where they were like, "Oh, don't mess with Captain Planet," and people got really defensive about Captain Planet.
Yeah, but, Karen especially.
Oh yeah, but and highlighted by the fact that Rod and Karen from the Black Eye Tips are on this panel, as well as Sterling from Gaming and Then Some podcast, aka the Wound God. I wanted to finally meet him, and some others. I got to meet CJ from Three Black Geeks, who was on the show with you, Will, a few weeks back. Got to meet quite a few podcasters, out there. I think what impressed me about the panel was, of course, the hilarity, the jokes, and everything else, the comedy. But also, I'm going to mention DPomps66, who is he runs a podcast, or he's a co-host on one of the podcasts on the Movie Trailers Reviews Network. He had a vehement defense of Transformers the movie, to the point where he knew so much about that movie, the facts behind it, the making of. I asked him, I walked up to him, I said, did you grow up in the same house as me? Because you pretty much had all the thoughts I had about this movie. He's like, nah, I'm just a big fan of the movie. I'm like, dude, you knew your shit about Transformers the movie, and it was just so impressive. And I was like, yeah, I gotta get you on the show, man. But the panel overall, I think, was lots of fun, great, good, good interaction with the guests and with the audience, and I got a prize, for deciding one of the most racist characters in cartoons.
Which was
I said Eggplant Wizard, which actually wasn't a racist character. It's just the fact that it was an eggplant. I think got me that first of the many prizes that they were giving out, door prizes. Yeah. So, Will, what did you think of the panel?
It was good. It was good. Like, I don't. It's funny because I wasn't sure what the audience was gonna be like. Like, I expected a whole bunch of like white people expecting nostalgia conversations, and then they were gonna be like wowed by Rod and Karen, like, oh, we didn't know what we're getting into. But like, they clearly knew who they were coming to see.
Yeah,
like the audience was like, it was. I tweeted about it how like I've never seen black people so hype about Transformers the movie, and it was a beautiful thing. So it was a good panel. I really enjoyed it. It's funny though, like I feel like in the program they probably should have used their screen names instead of their government names, because you didn't necessarily know who they were just reading that.
Yeah, I think that part of the policy of that con was you have to use your government, or that might be for press. I don't know, but I'm assuming that extends to panelists too, or they probably could have put it in parentheses or something. But it was a good turnout. I mean, the room was pretty well filled. And you can see pictures of that, either through our feed or check out Rod and Karen. I think Karen posted a lot of it through @Say That Again. That is DAT. And I would also say that there was some competition with another panel. I think it was the comedian Eugene Merman had a panel at the same time, and we saw a lot of people heading that way too. But even with that competition, it was a great turnout in that room. A lot of folks turned out for that were fans of all the panelists. Like there were a lot of Black Guy Who Tips fans. There were a lot of movie trailer reviews fans. There, people that listened to the show and got to meet their favorite podcasters in person. And quite a few actually recognized me when I just said, "Hey, I'm Classick," and they were like, "Oh my God, you're Classick. You work on such and such, and keep doing what you're doing." But I didn't make a big thing of it. I kind of hung in the background there, and Well, it's funny. The fun part was actually meeting Rod and Karen and like walking up to them. They were taking pictures with just about everybody, like and they'll say they're not celebrities, but there was a nice little line of people waiting to take photos for them.
Oh, totally.
So, when I finally got up my turn, I walked up to Rod, just started giving him some dap, and he's like, "Hey, man, what's your name?" I was like, "I'm Classick," and he's like, "Oh my God!" And we just started hugging and shit, because it was like years in the making. And then I got to hug Karen and everything. And
Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about my Karen.
I gave her an extra squeeze just for you, but not too much of a squeeze because her husband's right there. But I gave her an extra squeeze just for you on your behalf. I gave Robin an extra squeeze too, but that was for me. So listen, there was a lot of love going on between the three of us. Took some photos.
I love them so much.
They are so fantastic.
So much.
And the thing with Karen was
I'm not pretend jealous. I am extraordinarily jealous. I don't know how I'm gonna vent this yet, but I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I don't know either. Look, man, if people knew what I went through to get to this damn thing yesterday, with the damn surge with the metro and how like effed up that is, and the adventure Will and I went on afterwards. I mean, look, I think we kind of paid our dues to get to this damn thing. So I felt very vindicated, because if I went there and we didn't get to see Rod and Karen, I didn't get to see Sterling and all these other folks, I'd have been really pissed. Like, I came all this way just to not see Summer Glau. Or to watch the line for John Barrowman with all these fans of dildos and scarves. But I got to see Rod and Karen from the Black Guy Who Tips. I got to see Sterling from from Gaming and Then Some, and meet Quita also, who's also in Gaming and Then Some. So I'm just glad for that. Yeah, I just thought it was a fantastic affair, and that was a great way to end it. For me and for a lot of people. Oh, and of course we went to Penn Social, the after party afterward.
I love that place.
And I think we both had a beer and just hung around for a little bit, and then we were out.
Yeah, I didn't know
just
that place existed.
Yeah.
What, Penn Social?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never been there, and it's like better than Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I've done a couple of meetups there. It's really fun.
It
It's really
is.
fun. I
We
love that place.
we did see a guy get carried out
Yep.
Well,
by
yeah,
security.
it's not a complete visit at Penn Social if nobody gets carried out.
Yeah, but it was pretty early. It was like not even like 10 p. 9 or 10 p.m. and he
Yeah, they
was
have
getting
a
carted
really
out.
I don't know if they have happy hour or drink specials or whatever on Sundays, but
Yeah.
they have a really good happy hour, and they're affordable. Like for DC,
Hmm.
Penn Social is pretty affordable, and it's
Yeah.
easy to kind of like knock them back, and then you're playing, and you just
Game.
kind of lose track of everything. And like I'm one of those people, like when I'm playing Giant Jenga, I don't think any of the beers that I consume count.
Yeah. Nah.
Do they still have the Giant Jenga?
I didn't see it. I really didn't see much of the games layout. We were just down there,
Oh.
like kind of hobnobbing, like the whole. We were all just
Yeah, no,
like.
they have like in the downstairs. They have the whatever cornhole toss, the bag toss thing.
Yes.
They have that. They have something else that I'm forgetting, and they have Giant Jenga.
Wow.
And yeah. So I like when I'm playing Giant Jenga. So it's very easy to get trashed in Penn Social.
Okay. Yeah. So hey, if you want to get trashed and carted out by security, Penn Social. No, I shouldn't say that's not a good endorsement. But you know that's a good spot. I would want to go back there. You know, I'm like, oh, I gotta come back here sometime. You know,
Well, like what we should do is the next time I come there, we should have a thing.
a CSPN meetup at the Penn Social.
Absolutely, like
Yeah.
not even kidding.
Yeah, and it'll be some of your favorite CSPN personalities, and of course the
And
public and guests.
some of your favorites and me.
No, you are the favorite. You
I
know.
don't know about that.
Yeah. So you're like Wolverine and the X-Men. You're like Beauty Jackson and the CSPN favorites. You know. So it's like,
I
oh,
don't know how
hot
true
billing.
it is, but I like it.
Yeah. So the guy hanging in the back that no one's gonna speak to, that's gonna have that's gonna be knocking back whiskeys. That's me.
I'm gonna get you to hold my purse.
Yeah, I will hold all the purses. Oh, and shout out to you know what? I gotta look up her name because I don't want to mess it up.
Oh no, you just shouted her out on Twitter. I know who you're talking about.
Yes. Lovely Libra at Lovely Libra. I want to shout her out because she was kind of just walking around while we were having drinks and stuff, and I noticed her purse looked like two DVDs stacked. I was like, "Are you holding DVDs?" She's like, "No, that's my purse." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," And that's all the conversation we had. But then we just followed each other on Twitter, and I was like, "Hey."
There's a lot of I have a book of all sorts of crafty non-normal things you can use to make purses, and I'm actually going to make some nifty purses.
So it could actually be made of DVD cases, and I was spot on. Or So
Absolutely.
So you see, my powers of observation, especially in a dark lit place like that, are just stunning.
I think you're just going to make one out of Pringles cans.
I just threw away a bunch of Pringles cans.
Oh no, she's got a ton because we've been fighting over it for about 2 months now.
Okay, the long ones are like the small ones, like the half ones.
Yeah, the long Pringles cans. Yeah, she's gonna
I'll fuck up some Pringles now. I'll run through some Pringles, sour cream and onion, and the cheddar.
I like the sour cream and cheddar.
Yeah. I get the cheddar one, and then I get the sour cream, and then like what I'll do is I'll take half out, put them out there, and just take the rest and put them in one can and shake it, and just kind of so I can alternate between sour cream and cheddar because that's how I do. And that's what you wanted to hear when you tuned into the Classic Team Up, folks. My technique for eating Pringles, it's very fastidious. Yeah. So Will's stepped away for a second. Why don't we step away for a quick second with a quick break on the Classic Team Up to promote something. Busted Tees. Tees. Yeah, there you go. You thought I was going to do some please hold music and then come back? Nah, this is it. Busted Tees through CSPN.us. You want to help keep our podcast free? Better yet, do you want to have something exciting and awe-inspiring and attention-getting on your chest?
Like this shirt I'm wearing right now.
That's what I was looking at. Busted Tees through CSPN.us is where you want to go. You can help keep our podcast free by going to CSPN.us and scroll down to the Keep Our Podcast Free link at the top of the page. Then from there, scroll to the Busted Tees banner and then shop for awesome, funny, cool t-shirts that are sure to get your friends' attention. You can get shirts like Rick Astley for President, which is what I actually wore to the AwesomeCon panel. And he's got his campaign promises on there, like never going to give you up, never going to let you down, they're going to say goodbye and all that stuff. That's on there. You can vote for Rick Astley for president. You can get You Shall Not Pass Go nor collect $200 from Monopoly / Lord of the Rings. That's another great t-shirt. Or you can get the Nintendo cartridge Blow Me t-shirt, or many others are on sale at Busted Tees through CSPN.us. So do it today. Busted Tees through CSPN.us. Keep our podcast free. And Will comes in at the tail end of our promo, which is a good transition to our next segment, which we're going to basically talk about some recent / current events, mainly movies. And this is the part where, Will, you and I are going to rant about the X-Men Apocalypse. And again, spoiler alert for those that have not seen X-Men Apocalypse. We will talk about some spoilers. And this might be pretty short. So, well, I'll let you start. Or if you got a minute or two to say.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible movie. It makes no sense. There's just a bunch of dumb shit in it. Like, how does the flying guy die in a plane crash? It's just,
one of the founding members of the X-Men, but mind you.
Or my favorite part is like what the trailer played a whole bunch of times is Mystique saying, "We're not all going to make it back," and they all make it back. Yeah. You know, it's like there are no stakes.
I was seriously thinking and hoping that Mystique would die in this damn thing instead of just kind of, coming out as the leader of the X-Men. There is no X-book. I think there might be one iteration of X-Men where she led the team, and even then it was like very short-lived. But you don't build your universe on that. This is Bryan Singer's, and Simon Kinberg's, I think it's Simon, wet dream of how they think X-Men should be. And they've been together on a number of the X-Men movies, since the beginning. It's like the one movie they both didn't work on for some reason was like their best one, was First Class. Actually, Simon Kinberg did write the script for that, I think. And for some reason, when Singer gets around these movies, he tends to just change shit for the sake of changing it. They put Jubilee back in this movie, but she's got maybe 2 lines, none of her powers on display, no characterization. She's just there. She's pretty much she's a standee. She's a, what do you call it? She's background noise.
Right.
Psylocke is just she's given like 4 lines. Totally mischaracterized. How is she a telepath? And is she a telepath, or does she have the psychic knife? I think it was just the psychic knife because she wasn't reading anybody's minds. So what the hell was that about? And then Storm, look, Alexandra Shipp, I gotta apologize to her because I was really down on her, playing Storm. Like, you're too light-skinned, and I still maintain that they pretty much just got whoever they could get, and it was like, let's get somebody that kind of looks like Halle Berry. But I noticed they did darken her tone for the movie, and I was like, is that kind of blackface or is that just makeup? Like, does that count? And I'm not gonna start that debate here. Although, hey, if you talk amongst yourselves, hashtag Classic Team Up on Twitter and talk about that, you can. But I thought she tried her best to prepare for this role, but they gave her nothing. They gave her nothing. She had some powers on display, and that was it. It was all about Jean Grey. It was all about Mystique. It was all about Magneto, and Magneto was a strong point in the movie. It was just so much. And you know what? This movie ended up being 3 great scenes. That's all it was to me. Magneto, when he freaks out about his family and and kills all those guys, the Quicksilver music video for the Eurythmics, and Wolverine, which was the cameo. Which, if you've watched a number of the commercials, you see his claw stick out. He actually is in there as Weapon X and gets freed, which also makes no sense because all of a sudden he's running into the X-Men in a timeline that I guess this is an alternate timeline or whatever, but. That never happened. They never ran to Wolverine while he was in the Epic Weapon X program. He would have remembered that shit. So I guess he's never going to be in the X-Men? I don't know. It's all fucked up. It is all fucked up.
There's so many. Like I've said that Jennifer Lawrence's celebrity is the worst thing to happen to that franchise because when they got her, it was before like Hunger Games exploded, and you didn't know that she was just gonna like take over like she has.
Yeah, and then ended up getting, Oscars and nominations and stuff. So it's like now they got this expensive Katniss Everdeen. But the Halle Berry as Storm was the same thing. It was like, they were trying to get her back after Monsters Ball, and it was like, well, my price just went up. It was like, whoa, you are an Oscar winner, so we could use you on the cast, even though they could have easily just said, hey, well, Storm is, overseas on a mission or something. We don't even need her no more because she was horribly miscast. They didn't want to admit that because people were saying that coming out of the first X-Men movies, like, Halle Berry is Storm, whatever. It was a nice wig, but no one was like, oh, Halle Berry was great as Storm. She was my hero or something. She really gave me something to look up to. They were like, that's a fucked up Storm, and that was a fucked up one.
Very boring.
She was whack. And then she went from like having an African, dialect to sounding British to sounding like she was from Queens by the Last Stand. She was Babs Halle Berry with a wig on. Yeah,
she have an African dialect.
She was trying to fake one in the first one, right? Wasn't she?
Oh, because she did sound kind of.
Listen to clips from each one. Yeah.
She's the crack addict, the little like cutesy girl, and Queen, and so she did sound like a Queen.
That's her range. Yeah.
Girl amalgam. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's like trying to get like Denzel Washington to play War Machine in like a Marvel movie. He's gonna sound like Denzel regardless of what you put him in. It's gonna be, I'm gonna hit you with these repulsor rays. Damn it, it's like that's Denzel. Denzel sounds the same as Malcolm X as a hurricane, but you knew it was Denzel and you believed him in certain characters because it's like, okay, that's Denzel, but you knew that was Denzel. So. I mean, you could call Halle Berry a great actress or not, but I mean, with that limited range.
You can't.
Okay.
We're not opening that door.
The Academy just likes sex scenes. That's all it is.
You cannot.
They like sex scenes.
I feel like if you don't know Apocalypse, the movie really doesn't showcase his motivations. Like somebody on Twitter said that it's basically a gay man's dream as this guy goes around the world giving people makeovers. Because that's essentially
that's what he did. Everyone got a makeover. Angel got like metal wings and stuff, and he got like little pretty stuff on his sides, and it was like, oh yeah. And Storm, that's where Storm got his her white mohawk was from Apocalypse, just changing her hair color. And even Professor X got bald or something. It was like, he's just Vidal fucking Sassoon with powers, giving out makeovers in the 80s. Come on,
Oscar Isaac brought nothing to that role. For all the things people loved about Poe Dameron, he just nothing. Anybody could have been this character.
Yeah, that's really the sad part about it. It was like the waste of that talent, the waste of Havoc. Well, I thought the Havoc thing, and Mel, we're spoiling this like completely.
Oh, I don't care. That's okay. I really.
We're saving you some money, because guess what? You can look at all the great parts of this movie on YouTube. That Quicksilver, "Sweet Dreams Eurythmics" music video, that's on YouTube. I saw that before going into the movie, and going into the movie, I was like, okay, this is cool. Kinda, it doesn't make sense because all these people should have their necks broken by the time they come back from the time jump or whatever. But whatever, physics, who cares? So they pretty much kill Havoc, which was supposed to resolve the whole, how is he like 20, 30 years older than his older brother in the his Cyclops in the comics, but they're bringing back Cyclops, so that's kind of supposedly explains that away. Like, hey, well, your brother's dead, but he was your older brother, so now you could just be the only Summers brother. Yay, that kind of thing. There's just so much crap going on here. They were really trying to. I think Days of Future Past was their way of,
Well, let me tell you something. That Mama Summer's reproductive powers are fantastic, right? Because I mean, what's the age difference between the two of them?
I don't know, 20, 30 years, because it wasn't
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's like, I'm bringing my kid brother to the Xavier school so he can learn about his I-beams. Like, no, come on, dude, that's not how it went. First off, they're supposed to be orphans. Were those their adoptive parents? We didn't know. We still don't know.
Plus, why were they in Ohio? He's from Alaska.
Yeah,
like little petty things like that. I know.
It's just and you know what? In the comics, they didn't even meet each other until like They were adults after they, kind of jumped out of that plane and got separated and became orphans that one time in that accident. But whatever. Who reads the comics? Obviously not Bryan Singer or Simon Kinberg. And if they do, you know what they do? They read a little snippet of a portion of a panel of a comic, or I think they just looked at that shit ass animated series from the 90s.
Or they say, "Fuck you."
Yeah. What's their powers? Oh, that's bullshit. Let's add something to it. Let's make Quicksilver stop time instead of just being super fast, so that he can catch people while they're frozen in time, and then like kind of speed it up and slow it down as he needs to. Quicksilver was pretty much a VCR, kind of a reverse VCR. And you know what? You know what they should do? They should stop these X-Men movies. Fox should just have a Quicksilver music video channel where it's nothing but Quicksilver remaking music videos from like the 80s and like just doing slow motion or fast motion or whatever, rapid time rescues. So it's like Quicksilver rescues to like Bananarama or to Coolio or something, Dangerous Minds. Send people out of school and shit like that. And then that would be QSTV. It would get hella ratings, hella ad buys, and they wouldn't have to fuck up the movie universe anymore. There you go. You're welcome, Fox. Bastards.
I gotta say, he seems to be the highlight of all the films.
Yeah.
Because that time in the bottle joint in the in Days of Future Past is pretty dope.
Yeah. And I feel like I wasted so many words on this review. I should have just had a 5-word review. This is the 5-word review I had, the 5-word preview I had when I heard they were making this movie. Sell the rights back to Marvel. That's it.
That's all.
You want to make anything that's not Marvel, Fantastic Four, and X-Men meet? No, sell the rights back to Marvel.
Because it's all shitty.
Yeah, and matter of fact, that's the term. That's the phrase I'm going to use when you fuck up at something. Yo, dude, you need to sell the rights back to Marvel because you done fucked up right now. You know who needs to sell the rights back to Marvel? Washington Metro. With this Safe Track initiative and trying to basically fix tracks, and they're we're not going to run the trains after midnight on the weekends. You should be open 24/7 fixing tracks, you bastards. Sell the rights back to Marvel. And I'm a writer on this thing you call the Surge. I didn't get a free can of Surge. Where's the customer service? Sell your rights back to Marvel, bastards. Matter of fact, that's the new Sarcticon pit. Sell the rights back to Marvel. I'm a snatch right here.
What just happened?
I just nerd rage all over this podcast, and I hope someone comes clean it up because I'm not doing it. Clean up on aisle 3 at Classic Team Up.
Tell them why you're mad.
Oh, you know why I'm mad. And shout out to AwesomeCon Sunday. I didn't get to go today. I kind of wish I did, but hey, it was a nice quiet Sunday here in the house. With everything else. So
that's not a 3-day show. Like it could be, but it doesn't deserve 3 days yet.
Yeah, they didn't have anything like super huge like the 50th anniversary celebration of Spider-Man that I went to at the New York Comic Con a few years on the 3rd day. And that was fun. Or the Peanuts birthday or something like that. It's like those are things like you bring the whole family and the kids and stuff too, and that's fun for the whole family. I keep saying fun for the whole family. I've got a family of 2, and one of them is a dog. So
that's a family.
That's a family. It is. But it's like no one wants to go to anything with me, so that's why I kind of get my friends as family. Oh, and I want to give a special thanks to you, William Bruce West, for making sure we got home okay. We had a nice adventure on the Metro, but after that, we both got home safe and sound. But this is a lesson, a PSA for those of you out there. Make sure you text somebody when you get back safely to your house, because that's you worry. I was worried. I was like,
I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
It's like, William Bruce West is dead and it's my fault. I was just so distraught. And Mrs. Classick is like, see, I don't know why you made him give you a ride for her. See, and this is what happens. And like, you know what? Don't, because whatever. Whatever, dude. So I'm just glad everyone got home safe. Because I was freaking out till late this afternoon. I was like, he didn't text back. I don't know what happened to him. He could be in a jail. Maybe and plus I got attacked by a deer you heard on the last podcast, so I thought maybe the same deer, caught the whiff of my scent in your ride and decided to come after you.
It's just a psychotic deer.
Yeah, it's like wildlife, bounty hunters or something. Like the Boba Fett of deer. He's no good to me. He's no good to me, frozen or dead. It's like, I don't know, man. So watch out, folks. If you shaking hands with me at AwesomeCon, be careful, because someone antlers might be like waiting in the bushes for your ass. Because apparently it's a war on me from the wildlife community.
Evil, so I can attest to that. I almost took one once, and I got stalked by deer for about 2 years.
Yeah. You sure it was deer? Was like some dude with like
fools like, come outside, bitch, we waiting. It was
yeah, belligerent animals. You talk about their doe-eyed and their fancy, just nah. Snow White lied to y'all. She's not feeding deer out of
raccoons.
Oh gosh, raccoons are such bastards.
Yeah.
Trash eating bastards.
But I could go off on that all day, so I'm not even honest.
Yeah. Yeah, we could rant even further, but I think this is a good place to cap off our AwesomeCon review, as well as Ninja Turtle do well. Good, because you know what, you bastards deserve the anger too. But we're giving you what you want. We're giving you Rocksteady and Bebop, and you got Casey Jones with short hair. It's pretty much Oliver Queen in a hockey mask, and you wait too long, and you still got Megan Fox in there. And by the way, Michael Bay's still attached to this thing. So, no, you didn't do anything for us Turtles fans. All you did was just pretty much take the shit, try to shine it up a little bit. You put Tyler Perry in this thing.
Yeah.
You don't give a shit about us. You don't. You don't. And if you say it's for the kids, guess what? The kids didn't come out for this movie this weekend. So you pretty much, look like asses right now. I hope you don't make any more money. Any more.
Well, I heard it won the weekend, but it only made like $35 million.
No one went to the movie this weekend. Yeah, I hope they go broke. I hope they play Doc Savage. I don't know shit about Doc Savage. I decided never to make a Savage, but I know The Rock is the movie. The Man of Bronze. I think you might want to see that too, Mel. They're going to cover him in bronze, I think. I don't know. They might.
What?
That'd be cool.
Who's covered in bronze?
Oh, yeah. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's been signed on to play Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze, who is an old-timey comic.
Let's talk about me and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Let's talk about that. I don't know. I didn't know you had to. Oh.
I don't like. So he has the equipment.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes.
But
wait.
He's just not the machine.
He's not the machine for you?
I just don't. He's not the machine for me. I just don't. I greatly enjoy looking at him to an extent, and I think he's a great wrestler, and I like him in the ring, I like that, and I think he's handsome, but I don't have that. Even the whole tongue thing that he does, that I don't. It's fascinating to watch. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
he just doesn't.
Well, maybe you're more of a Farouk guy.
So I'm sure there's no.
Maybe more of.
But yeah.
You're probably more of a Ron Simmons fan. The Rock and Ron Simmons used to tag together. They were both in the Nation of Domination. In fact, The Rock took the Nation from Farouk in the WWE. So see how it all comes together full circle at the end of the podcast.
I would probably do things with Ron Simmons before The Rock.
Yeah. Oh wow. Ron Simmons is more the age of the demographic you go after. Uncles. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson is somebody's daddy too.
But yeah, no, he just seems like he'd be a fun guy. He seems like he really, and he looks like he has a grill rub. He probably wears huaraches when he's at the grill. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I need in my life.
Yeah, you have that. I will have hot Aquaman cakes and Roller Girl, and we'll have Agent Carter, and we're all happy now. So there it is.
I think
dress up Mrs. West as Agent Carter. Will.
The Rock looks like he would be your boyfriend, while Ron Simmons looks like he'd look over at you and be like, "You know what this was."
Ron Simmons will still be at your house. Yeah.
The Rock would be your boyfriend, but he'd be 8 people's boyfriend, and that can be exhausting. Yeah. Not that I'm necessarily against that, but he would be the exhausting kind of boyfriend with hella girlfriends.
Yeah. Well, Ron Simmons would still be in your kitchen playing dominoes with his buddies, at 2 in the afternoon, asking you to fix around the sandwiches.
I'm not trying to be Ron Simmons' old lady either. I'm trying to, do some things and get some ribs. That's all. And Ron is more my speed.
Yeah. Well, if you got nice feet, then Tony Atlas is your speed, really, because he's into feet. If anyone that's watched Legends House knows. But now we're getting into some pro wrestling talk. So I'm gonna save that for the WrestleCast, which you can catch here on the CSPN network, as well as Comic Book Chronicles and all of our other shows, including the Good and Terrible Show. Thank you, for Beauty Jackson, for Melanie, for coming out and being a part of this show. Of course, we can hear you on the Good and Terrible Show, and let the folks know some other things about you that you want them to hear from you as we're getting to our last words.
Me? I'm doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You want a shout out?
Yeah, sure. Of course, I'm going to shout out Siege. Hey, girl. Who is my co-host on the Good and Terrible Show, which you can find at thegoodandterribleshow.com or cspn.us. I've also launched a new blog. Anybody who's like an OG follower of me, you know that a few years ago I blogged at thebeautyjackson.com under the name Red Bean Dreams. Well, yesterday I launched redbeandreams.com. So I'm back up in this bitch like, whoa, and you should subscribe. And I plan on doing things slightly differently, but I promise you're going to love it.
There it is.
And you can follow me.
Well, thank you for coming.
_Jackson on Twitter and everywhere, like anywhere where social media foolery is done, that's where you can find me. Beauty _Jackson.
There it is. Beauty _Jackson. Well, any last thoughts, final words, or parting shots you'd like to give?
X-Men Apocalypse sucks, and anybody who says otherwise has just lowered the bar from just Stockholm Syndrome or whatever. I had an awesome time at AwesomeCon, and you can follow me at William B. West on Twitter.
Yes, and tune into West Week Ever on the WilliamBruceWest.com every Friday. You give your opinions as to who had the West Week Ever. Great read. And if you do enjoy that article that he posts every Friday, leave him a comment. Put something on the page, so this way he can continue to write more articles, which he's going to do anyway, but at least he's more motivated. It's not a shitty week, because no one reads anything. That's just write something. Hey, this is a good article. Thanks, dude. That's great. That's the feedback is important, folks.
It's very
so give
important.
him the feedback. Yeah, give us some feedback too. iTunes, Stitcher, send us a comment on the CSPN.us page, or just hit us up on Facebook, Google Plus, any of those other places. And also hit up hashtag Classic Team Up. Again, that's CLASSICKMATERIA is Classic Materia. CLASSICKTAAMUP is the hashtag. Do that. I'm Classic. Thanks so much for coming out. X-Men Apocalypse sucks. Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows sucks. The video game on Xbox is awesome, by the way. Go play that, but don't watch that movie. And AwesomeCon was awesome. Thanks to Ron Cairns. Thanks to Sanity Report. Thanks to D-Palm. I'm forgetting one of the panels. Thanks to Sterling, aka the Wound God from Gaming and Then Some. Thanks to Three Black Geeks, CJ, who was sitting in the front row, pretty much commenting on everything. And thanks to Aquaman with Cakes and Agent Carter. And for Spider Dog, myself, and Mrs. Classic, who's upstairs wondering why I'm yelling so loud, I say, peace out.